All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Here we go.
End of the year podcast.
Yeah.
With,
End of the year? This is the end of the year podcast?
It's pretty much. We have the Alvarengas here.
Yeah.
Chill night.
Yeah.
Dinner and podcast.
Yes. Thank you for feeding me. It was delicious, by the way.
I slaved over the stove.
I know you did.
You know.
Hard work.
Baked chicken was on
you know, my Peruvian friends came through. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what do you want this topic to be about?
Let's talk about you guys. Let's talk about you guys are a beautiful love story. And we've been watching. We've been first row seats watching a love story.
Absolutely.
And as I was thinking about you guys this week, I was thinking about, when you were in Patchogue, when I first met you, and your compañías, and so John, of course, your Charles coming to church.
Yep.
Just brought back so many memories.
Sure.
So your whole family has been a blessing, and we've been friends, and we've doing life together, and we're just watching you.
It's been a minute.
Do life.
We said, we're at the end peak of our kids, and then just watching them with their children, with their child, and now them being young parents raising baby, and we're past that, and we saw them young. No, in the sense that we saw them young, running out to the church van and seeing them, in the services and interacting the whole thing, which we didn't know that he was dating. Remember, we didn't know.
What?
He didn't.
No.
He did not. We thought. I thought he was your boy. I thought that
this is
he
funny.
held us high, and we didn't even know that he was dating Marilyn. It was, I was a pretty.
It was fresh. It was just starting to get to know. I remember the conversation I had with Jose when I told Jose, and I was like, Jose, and he was like, oh, so you're dating this girl from Patchogue? I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm like, I did tell Pastor. He's like, but there's more to John.
I said that?
Yeah, I can see that. He told your dad before he told you. How did that happen?
I told Pastor before I told you. But you want to know what? It was the Sammy Roseberry connection. It was too close.
Oh, it's too close, man.
It was too close, man.
Okay.
I needed to make sure that this was simmering first before I had Sammy. Sammy was renting from your dad at that time.
I remember that.
It was too close,
I remember that.
It was too close, man.
So you thought I would spill the beans to
It's not
Sam.
about that.
Wow.
Sammy.
That's the
10
whole.
years later.
Because we were.
Listen.
Wow.
We were just saying that we were
I
always
just had
hanging
to-
out when Sammy was living.
I
and we were
just had
always
to make
there.
sure, I was, make sure this was real first.
So you guys were creeping behind our back. Whoa.
That all comes out.
Wow.
They're married now.
It worked out, bro. It worked out.
This is
you know what I
great.
mean? I was a real low key kid back then, bro. I was just, I was low key, just minding my business. You know what I mean?
back then.
Low key about what, bro?
But I did tell Pastor.
But you didn't even tell youth
and I had a
pastors.
very nice 6-hour conversation
With my dad.
yes,
That
course.
sounds about
in
right.
the barbershop when I told him.
Sounds about right. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And I know Ruthie was like, "You ain't tell Jose."
Yeah, and I was like, what? And I think it wasn't even him that told me. I think I heard it. I think it was Henry.
You heard it. It was probably Henry.
And I was like, what?
Henry knew before us.
Yes.
Henry kind of introduced us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Henry was the love.
He was the-
to our,
Cupid.
first
Yes.
date, kind
Yeah.
of, right?
He Henry.
Well, him and
Well, it was. That was. Well, I'm talking about when we first met.
Oh,
When we first
that's right.
met
Yes.
was at
Henry.
Skate to You Drop.
Skate to drop.
Listen.
Henry
Shout
and
out.
Skate to You
Skate
Drop.
Skate to
Shout
You
out
Drop.
Skate to You Drop.
Yeah.
I mean,
Henry-
Successful events.
it was that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then
That's what we started. And I knew that.
that's how we met, because we're sitting there hanging out with the Patchogue youth after.
Shout out to Patchogue youth.
Yeah, shout out to
Patchogue.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Best.
So we got to Skate to You Drop.
And youth.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
that was what, 2010?
9.
No, it was 2010 because I graduated.
It's
I remember
15 years ago.
That's
Crazy.
2010. We met. We started
Oh, yeah,
dating in
2010.
2011.
Yes, you're right.
and you're married how many
2000.
years now?
That's 15 years,
Married-
Ruthie.
About to be 9 years married
years
this
Nine years
June.
married, which is wild.
15 years ago.
Yes,
Crazy.
Wow.
I know.
So it took you 15 years to confess that you guys were creepy around us.
I was never, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Pretty
my
much.
bad. I'm sorry.
It comes
about
out,
that.
though,
I'm
you
sorry
know.
about that.
The truth comes out. So good. Oh my
The
God.
time
Yeah.
does certainly fly. Yeah.
Skate to you drop
Skate to
was,
drop was because of Skate to drop.
you know, Skate to you drop was the way we used to raise funds
That
for
was
our
my
youth
baby.
event. So we would raise funds to run our weekend youth event.
Epic.
You had
It
the
was
campaña,
amazing.
that was the best.
It was everything. It was a whole weekend. It was
Yeah.
a whole packed weekend.
Yeah.
That was what that was the Skate to drop that we met the Campania weekend.
When
Because
you
that's how you
guys
did
had
it.
the decorations on
Probably.
the
Yes.
wall and
We had
stuff.
it, yes.
Yep.
You know,
Epic.
I'm sorry for any other church that did a Campania, but you're not topping that one. That youth Campania was
best.
incredible.
It's stuff that
It
people
was
still talk about now.
amazing.
I still remember. it.
I gotta find pictures.
Yeah,
Out of a
we have to
little
find them.
We gotta find
garage church
Yeah.
in Wyandanch, New York.
Shout out to One Day.
Shout out to Wyandanch for real.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Mishpaha.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
I see.
amazing.
Yeah,
So it's been we've been watching, and we had the privilege to
Yeah.
marry you guys, which was amazing. And then you had your journey with your baby
Yes, yes.
with JJ, with little Deuce.
yeah.
So how does that work? Because it happened with the women's event, right?
Refused to
How did that happen? How did that work? Walk us through that, Mary.
So we were praying for a baby for a long time. I mean, we were married already, what, like 6 years, 7 years at that point. So
Yep,
it was,
yep.
we took our time to travel and do everything, but it was like, okay, it's time to have a baby now. Everybody's asking for it. So we were praying about it. We had the ladies at the church praying about it. And then we went to the women's event where, what's her
Prophet-
name?
Prophet
Prophet
Jasmine.
Georges.
Mhm.
Yes. She was there and then she prophesied. I was the last person to go up for prayer. And then she prophesied and said that I was going to have a baby boy before July of the next year. Well, before the end
She said
of
by
July.
this time
By the
next
time,
year.
which it was the end of July,
Right.
you will have a baby boy.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't even know I was praying for a baby. She didn't know any
Right.
of that.
And that was the day. That was what was the date on that? That was July of the previous year.
Yeah, so it
Yes.
was like, what, July 20 something?
It was around my birthday, yeah.
Yeah, it was
so
around
like
his
the
birthday. Yeah,
20
I
what?
want to say like 27th or
27,
something.
28 weekend.
Yeah.
But that was what? That was what
That
year was
was-
that?
2023.
2023.
2023.
Yeah,
Yes.
2023.
Okay.
And JJ was born July
13,
13th, 2024.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was, yeah, she was like,
It's on point.
your son
That
is
whole
the
year.
one to be, is going to be raised in church, and he's going to
Yes.
be telling you guys. It's like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
ministry
Yeah.
over his life.
Yep.
So
He's
it's
going to
like,
be asking you how to pray.
Wow.
He's like 12 years old and he's going to be a man of God.
Wow.
yeah. So it's like promises already, stuff to look forward to. And yeah.
So we were first. It's amazing. That's just amazing how the timing of it went. We were in El Salvador with Prophet last year.
And you had just had, right. Because I texted him, like, is it okay if I tell
Yes.
Prophet that,
Yes.
that the baby,
Yeah.
Can I show? Oh, there he
There he
is.
Right on time. Right on cue.
time, right on cue. And this is a miracle. He's probably like, wait, it's been a long time.
He's like, someone's talking about me.
What happened? Mommy's right here. Oh,
Someone talking about me? Hey. He's like, someone talking about me?
oh, he's probably doing smile.
He's like, you left me.
What happened?
You want to have
Mommy and Daddy right here.
Were your ears ringing?
Yeah.
We were talking about you, buddy.
About me.
He's probably like, okay, this has been a while since my parents haven't even come look for me. But yes, I remember you in a
Look,
song.
now-
now you gotta go find it.
Now you're gonna
Now he
go.
wants to go back.
Now
He
you're
just
gonna
wanted to make sure.
Now you got
It was good. We didn't
Ah.
abandon him. We didn't
He's like,
leave
all right,
him.
this is not a real
Ah,
sleepover.
Okay. So we're
He's like,
good.
nah, they didn't leave me.
Yeah, so that's when I showed Prophet I'm like, listen, the baby that, you know,
Yeah.
the woman you prophesied over, she had the baby.
Yeah.
And and then the crazy thing is that when I told her in El Salvador, she didn't remember. She was like, what? I
Yeah.
told her what?
Yep.
And I'm like, you said this before the, you know.
Yeah.
And she was just like, praise God.
Yeah.
That's God. That's not me. She was like, you know, because she said, she's like, I don't want her to think people, you know, that I don't know them. And people think like, oh, you know, it's like, oh, you probably known them. And she was like, and I don't like, especially when something doesn't come, but I know when God uses me, it's because, you know, so she was just floored. Couldn't believe it.
No, I can testify.
Wow.
Prophet Jasmine's a prophet of the Lord. Because what was I saying all year? I was like,
She better be right.
this is what I was saying. I was like, the Bible tells me if a prophet tells one lie, they're not a prophet.
Right.
So we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out by this time next year if she's really a
And
prophet.
I remember, yeah. And then remember when you said, let's see if it's a boy. Let's see if
Let's see if
it's
it's
a
a
boy.
boy. Then I
How
said,
we're
let's see if
crushing.
it's a
Let's see if
boy.
it's a boy. But yeah,
That's a
no.
lie one? No. You just
It
want to touch
was, yeah. Amazing.
I had no idea. I already had scheduled an appointment for a fertility clinic and all that, and she really had no idea.
So talk about that. So you guys were trying for some time.
So at that point, we were already trying for a whole year.
Okay.
So, and nothing was happening. That's why I was praying, and I was like, God, like, what's going on? I had the ladies at church praying. And then I realized that nothing was happening. So I was like, okay, so it's time to find some help because we don't know what's going on. So that's when we started looking for a clinic. And then we started going to the clinic just to do like, you know, the tests that they have to do just to see what is going on. And they just kept saying that they don't know what's going on. They don't know. It was just unexplained infertility. Just that.
What's the feeling? We've never been in those shoes. What's the feeling of going to a clinic like that? You know, yeah, that's right, buddy. Let them know you're in charge. This is about you.
That's right.
This is all about you. So, what's the feeling of for you guys? You know, you going through it, you know, and wanting to, and going to the clinic, and you know, what is that like? Can you help us understand? Because
It's a mix between trusting God, because I always knew that I was meant to be a mom and I always wanted to be a mom. So it's always a feeling between trusting God and like also kind of despair and like, okay, what is going on? Kind of like, you know, and it's a lonely feeling because you think you're the only one going through it. And then after I went through it, I actually had the baby. I started talking to other women about it. And it was like, wow, this is a lot more common than what people like say or talk about. So it was a very lonely journey. Even though I went through it with him, it's just as a wife and just as a woman, it's a difficult journey for sure.
So you know, I can imagine there's a lot of uncertainty, right? Because you have like several chances or several like, how does that work?
Very limited.
Okay, I don't listen. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. How does that work?
Honestly, having a baby is such a miracle that people don't even realize.
Talk about that, please.
So hard to actually get pregnant. You know, you have a period of like 3 or 4 days where you're ovulating, and you have to make sure it happens during those 3 or 4 days. If not, you have to wait a whole new month. And that's what was the frustrating part about the whole journey. It's like they give you medication and you have these 3 days.
Oh,
And
So
then
it's
if it doesn't
almost like,
happen, then you have to wait the next month. And
Oh,
then you have
wow.
more shots, and you know,
so you gotta take a shot.
Yeah.
it's a whole process.
You
So
get a
like,
shot, or she gets a shot.
She gets a shot.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, there's different. So, with anyone's journey, it could be different depending on how, for lack of a better word, I guess extreme or whatever procedure you have to go through. So, you know, typically, you know, you start off, you first get all your blood work done. You know, they want to make sure everything's right and there's no issues with anything. And as Melly said, you know, you have enough eggs, you have enough this, you have enough that, you know, your husband is fine, you know, everything should be working out, right? It's just not happening. And so then you move on to pills, which during this whole process, I just had to be supportive as possible because my body is not, I didn't have to do when, you know, Marilee was the one that had to deal with pills and whatever else she had to go through. And so, you know,
It's like putting your body
Exactly.
itself through all that.
100%. a lot of hormones versus pills, then it's shots, and I constantly have to be at the doctor. So like every other week, I had to be there. I had to make an appointment, just to see where my cycle was at. And like, okay, this is the perfect timing. Do it now. Like, yeah, it's a long day.
So it's almost like they're trying to guide you through it as well.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly.
I remember one time I was working so late in Albany, and but we needed to make it home for our window, so I drove home that night late because I was like, I need to make it home, and I need to
Make a baby.
Make a baby.
I need to make a baby. I
That's
got
how
home
it
so
is.
late, and I was like, we got to make a baby.
Gotta get to
You know
work.
what I mean?
That's it.
Typically, I'd probably like stay over because it was late, but I was on the highway for 3.5 hours. Like, all right, I got to make it home because this is our window. This is our time. You know.
There's so much pressure
Okay.
on a marriage.
And I feel like the stress too on your body, like the whole.
So talk about that. What the pressure in a marriage is? How does that? Because listen, it's hard enough to be married. It's hard enough to be married at your age. Hard enough here on Long Island, but now you have a pressure of trying to bring a baby to the world. And here he is once again. You're just right on cue. You're right on time. Would you want to say something,
Bro.
show us your words. Tell us your words.
Bro.
Bro.
It's a lot of pressure because you're like, why is my body not doing what it's supposed to be doing? So it's a bit of frustration, at least on my part. And then to put pressure, because it's not his fault. He doesn't know. Like, and I'm the one like, okay, we need to do it now. We need to have all these calendars and, track and everything. So it takes the fun out of it. It's just like, okay, we just got to do it right.
And then to be real too, there's a different dynamic of how different people deal with stress.
Yeah.
And deal with stressful situations.
Yeah.
And deal with things like this. Like me, it was very hard for me not to, and I had to learn throughout the process of this of not being too. Like I had to make an effort to be sympathetic with my wife because she's going through all this. She could have all these feelings of me, my body's not doing this, I'm not doing this, it's not and what if we never have a baby?
Yeah.
If, those are those late nights when you're sitting in bed before you go to sleep and you're praying and you're talking to each other, and she's like, what if this is not in the cards for us? What if it, before the prophecy and even after the prophecy, right? And so me, I'm always the guy that tries to be like, if God wills it, God wills it, and if He doesn't will it, then I have to learn to be happy and content. So, in that way, that could be very frustrating to my wife because
you're two different extremes.
Yes.
Right.
I try not to worry. I'm like, nah, don't worry. But she's not trying to hear, don't worry. You know what I mean? She's not trying to hear, it might not happen. And then I try to say, well, if it doesn't happen, then it's God's will. She's not trying to hear that at that time. And so that's a stress. That's definitely a stress in your marriage. And then, that, you get, that could definitely cause you to be angry at the other person, upset or annoyed or whatever it may be. At times she could probably look at it as toxic positivity on my end.
You say that
Can you explain? I've never heard that term.
And not only that,
toxic
but
positivity.
it's also stressful because also women have a certain clock as far as how the age. Okay, you gotta get pregnant for a certain age, especially because that's even more riskier. Now, like you're getting older, and now everybody's trying to be that young parent and still be able to chase around their kids, but your body does take it takes a toll. It changes, and I know that was one of the things. Like I'm only getting older every time. Like
I had a whole time.
Like she was like, by this time,
I am definitely a planner. So I'm like, okay, we're going to have fun. We're gonna go travel. We're gonna do all this stuff. By 30, we're having a kid. 30 came and went. Then 32. That's when we had the baby. So I was like, so the toxic part, going back to the toxic
please explain.
Is being overly positive. Like almost too much. It's like, yes, we understand we're praying and we do trust in God. But it's also okay to feel frustrated. It's also okay to go through the emotions.
So you think John is the epitome of toxic positivity.
I'm not kidding. We know who is, but we're not going to say who is.
Wow.
We do know who is, though.
No,
But,
through that time though, I felt like it was too toxic.
It was too much for you.
It was too much.
I
Yeah.
couldn't.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
couldn't handle
Yeah.
Or I remember one day I just had to keep it real. I'm like, I love you. We can't, let's not be frustrated with each other. I one day though, I said it to her because I'm just being honest with her. And I'm just like, I am never going to be like stressed and depressed about this. It's not going to happen. Like I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get there. So the most I could do is just listen.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to be like, I'm not going to relate with you in that way. Because I'm not going to act like I'm depressed and stressed about something when I'm not. So the best I can do is just listen to you and be the shoulder to cry on and pray with you. And
It's amazing.
that's the
good.
best I could do.
That's good.
But that's the balance that you
Yeah.
need.
Absolutely.
Because you'll go
Because
to
you're
the
that extreme.
You're
Yeah.
deep end.
I'm the other extreme.
You're the
Yeah.
other extreme. Yeah.
So if he's what's it, toxic positivity?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
What does that make you, Jeremy?
just negative.
Yes. What is that, bro?
Tell us.
Yeah, there were definitely times that I was just like, here we go again.
But that's why the
Every
Lord on
month.
time.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, talk about it.
Hello.
But that's
Tell
why the
them.
Lord's on time because then the word came, and then
Right.
now we have something to stand on.
Yes, that helped me a lot because I'm like, I know.
I remember you saying that. You're like, I'm
And
trusting
like,
in that. And I think
Yes.
that's when you started like,
Oh yeah.
okay,
I had to.
I think I could breathe.
Yeah,
And I remember you saying like,
absolutely.
okay, I think I'm trusting in that.
Because now it's on the
Yeah.
Lord. Now every prayer is, you told me this,
Right.
so I know you're going to deliver. So please deliver. So now that last year.
Yeah, I
and
think
God's
that was-
timing
yeah.
is perfect.
I
Because
was
he
gonna
knows,
say, I think you
he
needed
knows
that
when you're at your
peace.
wit's
I
end.
think you already
I
asked
knew
that.
I needed that because
Yeah.
there was no way if I would a whole another year
No.
trying to go through all that. No,
Yeah, you would have lost it.
I probably would have stopped treatments and would have like, I'm
Could
done.
have.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot. It was definitely a lot on my body. It was a lot emotionally. Like it was too much.
Yeah.
So
So if he's toxic positivity, right? Does that make you like the other extreme, which is what would it be? It's not that it's toxic, it's lack of positivity. Or is it what would you label it?
during that time,
Yeah.
I said that I was being realistic because I'm just like, these are what the reports are telling me. Like, this is what the doctor's telling me. Like, not, at the time they were saying unexplained infertility. I was like, but this can't be explained. Like, there's something wrong. They just can't figure it out. So I felt like I was being realistic.
So that was the doctor's report.
Yeah, that it was unexplained.
Wow.
Which is even more frustrating.
Which is, I was gonna say,
because
it's
if
more
you
frustrating.
know
Yeah.
what it is, you can fix it.
Yeah.
Or there's a medication for it. There's this. It was just unexplained.
Shit, that's
So then it gives you even a more reason of frustration. Like it adds to it. Wow.
for sure.
Wow. Because when we received the call that the baby was born, I think it was there complications or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that was another. That was another reason why that prophecy
I think
was
she
so
had texted
important to
me.
me that day.
Yeah, she had
I
texted
went through an
me.
episode of Grey's Anatomy, man.
Yeah, she
That
had texted me. She was like,
crazy.
this is it.
Yes.
Something's happening. I'm not feeling well.
Hold on. So you watch Grey's Anatomy?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
But I just know that.
Sounds like you
A
did.
doctor, people are going crazy. That's basically what it was
Because
for
I
me.
binged that.
Let's talk
I have
about
a
that.
beautiful story about that. Because remember when I met her when I went to go vote? That was amazing. And the story said, boy, I come home from work one night.
Yeah.
Your blood pressure is high. You were
That's what
dealing
it
I
with
was
was.
early
You were
2
dead.
weeks. Like,
Yeah,
so the baby
yeah.
was not due yet. Usually you're late with your first one. So I was not expecting to have the baby. So and my blood pressure was going up during the day. But I told doctor, I was like, oh, I'll just keep an eye on it. And then if anything, I'll go to the hospital. Like, we'll figure this out. So exactly what happened. That night, he came home.
Yeah,
And
late
I was like,
too.
oh, I think we might have to go to the hospital. And I'm texting everybody.
and I was
I
like,
am
this is
not
it.
feeling right.
I remember you were
Wash my
frustrated 'cause I
hair.
was taking you were like, why are you
He
taking
didn't
your
pack a
time?
hospital bag until that day. I know
Hold-
we had
hold
to
on.
wait for him.
This is
No.
this is
Wait,
so.
what? Wait, hold up.
No,
on.
this doesn't surprise
What are we
me.
rushing for?
wait,
What are we
wait.
rushing
But it doesn't
for?
surprise me. Then again, it's John.
This is not real. This is not real.
No.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Wait, hold
What are we rushing
on.
Let me tell you.
Let's get some of stuff off the chest. So, wait. So you're saying that
Yep.
he wasn't ready.
Right.
I
He had
ready.
9 months.
Stay ready.
He had 9 months to get ready, and he still wasn't
Telling
ready.
him about
It's 'cause
his hospital bag.
I come through in the clutch is what I do. I come through in the clutch.
Bro, she was still waiting for you, trying to get to the hospital.
Don't tell me
showered.
Please don't tell me your water broke.
I
I
Please
was
don't
2
tell me.
weeks early.
Okay.
I was 2 weeks early.
You were at the car, like, John, let's go. I'm ready to give birth to your child. And John's like, yo, let me do my hair. Yo, let me do my hair. I'm not rushing. I'm not stressing.
Yeah, she's like, guess
Just
what?
you stressed.
Listen,
And only I had to be stressed.
This is Marilee. Guess what? Guess what? I'm waiting for the driver. I'm like, you're not waiting for. You're not waiting.
serious.
She's like,
No, you
I am
weren't.
in
No,
the
you
car.
didn't. You texted me.
Yes, I was.
messed up.
And
That's messed up.
she had a vent to somebody.
Yes, that's I had to make sure the lights were
She
turned off in the
knew.
house.
She
I had to
already
make
knew
sure we
that
could
I
not
would
be
get
coming
it.
back.
Yes.
We could not
She
be coming
knew.
back.
The only person that will understand is
We
Ruthie.
could not be coming
And I was
back.
like, why is he
And
making you wait? She was like,
I
I'm
just
just
wanted to
waiting.
make sure everything was in order before I left. We didn't miss
And then
anything.
he was trying to no batteries on the ring thing.
Yeah, I know, because we were about to leave the house for how many days? I had to change the batteries on the ring.
He wanted to change the
And
batteries
then
on the
I'm
ring.
about to give birth. Like,
First of all, you wasn't about to give birth.
they were like, you have to rush to the hospital now because your blood pressure is up. And I'm
And
like,
it could create, yeah. And I was like, is he out yet?
But we
I'm like,
did stop by
what's
McDonald's,
happening?
didn't
we did stop by McDonald's.
Who needed McDonald's?
Me.
Okay,
Like,
well,
big
step
That's
up.
she's pregnant. She's
I thought we were
pregnant.
rushing.
But listen,
That was a need.
That you
So,
see.
you know, but we
So
were
it
right on
hasn't
time.
changed.
so here's a couple of things, John. We've come to the conclusion.
Yes.
It's been a few years. We could talk about
Yeah.
this. We feel like sometimes, John, you have like
What's what I
the right
say,
word?
no sense
lack
of
of urgency?
urgency.
no, I feel like you just cruise like in second gear. You know what I mean? Like you just
So
cruise
it's
in second gear.
it's always been.
Like you're not in a rush to get anywhere.
No,
Why do you got to be in a rush to get anywhere?
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
what I'm
That's my
saying.
philosophy in life, though. Like, why? Why are people
Honestly.
rushing?
I get it. So,
She's only.
But she was fine. I knew she was good.
I'm done.
see, 'cause this is the
It all
positivity you're
works
talking
out.
about.
It
This
just all works
is
out.
this is the toxic.
This
You know, don't be
Uh,
anxious for anything.
Wow.
Matthew 6:34.
What a man of God. Yeah, ow, you're right. Great timing, buddy.
I'm gonna tell her, take out the bag.
That's
My
amazing.
back aches.
Yeah.
So what happened when you're voting?
Well, this is a fast forward. So
Yeah.
this is the whole night because we came in on a Friday night. JJ was born the next morning. And so we come in, they essentially tell us, yeah, you're not going home, right? After they did all the blood
Yeah.
tests, they did everything. They said, you merely have preeclampsia. That was another thing that upset us because we had, our whole birth plan was through the midwives. But once her pregnancy became complicated at that point, when she got moved into the preeclampsia category, now we get switched to a doctor because the midwives don't deal with that. So we were upset about that. That was not good news. So we get assigned our room. We go to our room. Everything is going great. She's, everything is fine. Everything's progressing. At this rate, they tell us, okay, you're going to have your C-section. Oh no, I think they were still trying to do natural at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Natural. Be like, by this time next morning,
Yes, it's tough.
the baby will probably come. We're getting ready to sleep, chill, and turn off the lights.
You went back home or you went to the
We went to we were in the hospital. We were in the hospital. They told us basically,
Like, they make
expect
it
the baby by like 8
Yes, it's
a.m.,
covered.
9 a.m. the next day. Right? We called her mom. We told her, like, this is what's happening. Everything was going smooth. And then Marilee was a warrior. They couldn't believe it. But she basically waited very, very long to ask for any type of like epidural or anything like that. They actually couldn't believe how long you waited. And so she finally couldn't take it anymore, the contractions and
Yeah.
everything. So,
Right. I wasn't trying to die here.
so they do everything.
not happening.
They do the epidural. I have to leave the room when they do it because it's like a procedure. So I leave the room. They do the epidural. I'll come back in. And less than like 20 minutes, man, after that epidural hit, all of a sudden, beep, 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 on the machine. I'm like, what's going on? Nurse rushed in. Shout out to all the professionals at Stony Brook. They did an amazing job. Nurse rushes in. She's like, boom, boom. All I hear her say is, all I hear run into the hallway, call more nurses in. I'm like, what is going on? And then now Marilee's in the bed and a little loopy because of the epidural as well. Like she was probably numb to all this, but I'm witnessing everything. There's like 4 nurses in the room poking, prodding her or whatever. So I just, no one cares about me as they should. Like no one's informing me of anything right now. They're just moving. And so because of that, I inserted myself because I'm like, I got all these people grabbing my wife. So I pushed my way through the nurses. I let them do their job, but so she could at least see me and I start holding her hand. I'm like, everything's fine. I could tell like she didn't really know what was going on. And then I hear them say, baby's not breathing. And I'm like, what the heck?
Heart rate dropped.
And then, and so then an old guy comes in, the doctor. He comes in and he just looks for 2 seconds. He goes, he's the only person that addressed me the whole entire time this was taking place. He turns around to me and goes, well, baby's not breathing, but it's fine. We're gonna get him out. We're gonna rush your wife into an emergency C-section. We're gonna prep her for surgery. You're gonna be able to join her in here. Boom. He leaves, walks out. They cart her out. I start following. They're like, no, you can't go. They got to prep her, but we're going to bring you in. I need you to grab everything. I'm like, I'm like, can someone give me a bag or something? So like, I'm like, I kind of need some help, right? And then I'm this nice little nurse comes in. She goes, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm not doing well at all right now, actually. I'm not doing fine at all. I'm being rushed out of this room. I don't know what's happening.
You don't like to be rushed.
No one is talking to me about anything.
Right.
And no one's informing me about anything. So no, I'm not doing well right now. Okay. I'll help you grab your stuff. So I grab my stuff and then they tell me, then I'm like, where's my wife? I need to go to the surgery room. And then they're like, oh no, they have to put her down. You're not going to go in there. And I'm like, no, the doctor told me that I'm going in there. And they said, no, you're not going in there because they got to put her down. And now I'm freaking out, right? Now I'm just like, I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm like, these people aren't getting it right. Now I'm criticizing the whole medical team. And then so they finally bring me over to this little waiting area where they eventually will cart her back after she's done going through surgery and everything to get the baby out. And I am breaking down now. Now the rush of everything that happened finally hit me, and the feeling of powerlessness washed over me. And I was like, I can do nothing. I can do nothing but just my wife's hands are in the lives of these people. And now I'm all the worst feelings I'm going through because I'm like, what if I never see it? Like, I don't know what's happened. Like, this wasn't the way it's supposed to happen. This wasn't the way it was supposed to happen. And so I'm breaking down. Like, I'm crying. There's nurses there at this desk that can see me, and I am crying. I'm breaking down. And the only thing I kept saying, that's when I just turned to God. I said, the only thing I kept saying, I was like, you told me. I stood on that prophecy. That was the only thing that gave me peace during that time, because the part of the prophecy is that your son is going to go to your wife. He's going to ask her when he's 12 years old. Teach him about the word. I said, well, you said this. So and she's got to be okay because you said this. So I'm standing and I'm going to stand on this, and you got to come through. That's what I just kept saying to God. I was like, you got to come through because you said this. And so that's the only thing that brought me peace during that time. I needed that during that time, because if I didn't have it, I would have been going through it, man. And then this beautiful, lovely nurse comes up to me. She was an older woman. She sees me breaking down. I was like, it wasn't I was crying. And so she sees me breaking down, and she's like rubbing my shoulder, and she's like, don't worry, I'm a Christian. I pray for every woman that comes in here. I pray for every family, every baby that gives birth. Don't worry, I've been praying, and you're doing good. Trust me. If it was my husband, he probably would have got arrested by now. He was like, because he probably would have tried to run into that room, and he was like, we had a similar story with one of my children and everything. But don't worry, it's all gonna work out. I pray for everybody in here, and everything's gonna be fine. And then everything was fine, and thanks to her, she told me, she's like, she was the one that was giving me all the updates. She didn't have to do that. That wasn't part of her job. but she did it, and I'm so grateful for her. So she's like, oh, your wife's had a surgery now. Okay, they're prepping her up. She's fine. Everything's great. The baby's out the car, and your baby in the hallway. You can't see him, but give me your phone. Give me your phone. I'll go take a picture of him.
Oh, wow.
They got to
Wow.
send him to the
God.
NICU though, because
was
he's got a
God
little
that had
fluid
her
in his
there.
lungs.
Honestly.
He's got fluid in his lungs. They got to send him to the NICU. So I'm like, damn, I can't even see him right now. No. But give me your phone. Give me your phone. So she went to go to, and she stops them. I remember because I try to go over to the hallway, and she's like, no, you can't go. They're going to get security. And she's like, and then she sees the nurses carting JJ out in the little thing. And then she goes, I need to take a picture for him. And they look at her like this. So she just runs over there, takes a picture of him, brings it back to me. And then that's when I saw him for the first time.
Wow.
Oh, that was so good.
And but now, I'm glad that he's good. They told me, but I haven't seen any of them in person yet, right? So I'm just praying for Marilyn, making sure everything goes well. So they tell me, hey, they got to stitch you up and do all that. So it was going to be a little bit before Marilyn was going to be able to go to the room. So I was actually able to go. I was the first one out of us that saw JJ because she was asleep. So I went to go check on him in the NICU to see him for the first time, and he was fine. I remember him hooked up to this machine with all this stuff in it, but his eyes were wide open, and he was just like looking at me like, just breathing like a little warrior.
That's
and
awesome.
so I made it back to the room, waited, and that's when Marilee made it back and everything was fine. And she just she was like, your wife's gonna be a little loopy. She was gonna take her some time to get out of the anesthesia, so don't be taking any videos of her right now. So it took her a little bit, but she just kept waking up like, where's baby, where's John, where's JJ, is everything fine? Yes, everything's fine. Where's the baby, where's JJ, is everything fine? Like, and it all worked out, and then we eventually went to go see him after he was fine. But yeah, amazing. I remember that. If it wasn't for that prophecy, I probably would have crashed out at the hospital.
Yeah.
So that word that you guys received at that time, you needed that word.
Absolutely.
Because you were desperate. You were like, we're trying everything. How do we fix this? Mm-hmm. And that same word was the word that kept you put together. Mm-hmm. Wow. Because that's not you. Mm-hmm. That's not you. That's out of character. Mm-hmm. That's just amazing how God is a God of covenant, a God of pact with us. Mm-hmm. And you reminded him, because as you guys speaking that story, I'm just thinking of Sarah, mm-hmm. and I'm thinking of that, Absolutely. And then, that Sarah and Abraham moment, you had your Abraham moment, at the house, you had your Sarah moment,
Yeah.
and it's because you've never told me the details of it. Mm-hmm. Because when you called me, I think she came. It was a Saturday morning. You called me, and
everything was fine by Saturday.
Everything was fine, but I heard it in your voice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You sounded tired. Mm-hmm. You sounded tired, like you almost like you were out of breath.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro.
And I remember you said that. But he's a warrior. But he's a warrior. I remember you saying that. Mm-hmm. I had no idea what everything we just told me. That's just an amazing testimony. Wow, on-time God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that
was a song.
Yes. When I was on my way to a fertility clinic, she sent me a song. It says "On Time God," and
I sent it to her.
Yes.
I said, Marilyn, just trust us.
Yeah.
Wow, on-time God.
But just to think that that prophecy, like sometimes when God speaks, almost like just standing on that and leaning on that, and I feel like that's what gives people peace.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause that's tough.
And to bring that full circle about that, so JJ's born in July, right? So obviously that was 2024. Election. It was an election year last year. So I go down to vote. At, my Islip Town Hall, and I hear two. While I'm on that line to vote, I hear two women talking behind me, and I just happen to, overhear their conversation. Two nurses, and I'm like, I've gathered that they work at Stony Brook. Mm-hmm. And, and then I hear one of them talking about thinking about transferring out of the maternity ward. I don't know if I can really do this anymore. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm thinking about retiring, blah, blah, blah. And I turn around and it's her.
That's wild.
And I say, and then I'm like,
where do I know you?
Chances.
Yep.
And then, so I pull up a picture of JJ and I turn around to her and I say, I don't know if you remember me,
Wow.
but I was a young man that my wife was giving birth, and I was breaking down at Stony Brook in the University Hospital. And you were such a blessing to me while I was there that day. You comforted me. You took a picture of my son for me. I was really going through it. You were praying for me and my wife and my family. So I just want to thank you so much. Here's a picture of my son. He's thriving. He's growing great and amazing. I just want to thank you so much for everything. And she was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing! I'm so happy to hear that." Right?
Wow.
At that moment.
And then I see her friend say to her, once I'm basically about to be done talking to her and about to go vote, her friend looks at her like, because her friend the whole time during the conversation was saying, maybe you shouldn't, maybe you should stay. I think you really enjoy what you do, and I think she was dealing with some office politics or whatever. And her friend looks at me and goes like, and then I just go off and vote and say bye to her. But,
Wow.
That's
On time, God.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. That same word comes back to her. Wow.
That's amazing.
So now what? So there's an addition to the family.
there's an addition.
It's a second one.
Number two.
So exciting.
And the due date,
June 27th.
26.
2026.
Oh, 20, yeah.
2026.
next year.
Correct.
Next
Yeah.
year. Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Exciting.
All right. Well, I think that's great.
Yeah,
Have our
this was
hands
awesome.
full.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
So it's going to be fun.
So it's going to be amazing.
That's going to be good.
But you have a village. You have people, that love you, that, are proud of you. And, yeah.
This journey was very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
amazing.
a full surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had my hands full.
All right. Well, I think it's great.
It's great. All right.